Hi everyone, welcome to the Ever-Seeking Empath. I'm a reader who uses tarot, oracle, and charms, and today's reading is How Can You Embrace Love This Valentine's Day? So I really wanted a reading that would focus on different kinds of love. I'm not really sure what's going to come up in the cards, so just, if you need to focus on self-love, if you've got romance coming your way, if you need to focus more on your family and friends, just whatever's going to come up. And we are live shuffling the tarot and oracle cards today. So that's a little bit of a different take on things. I usually shuffle them and pull cards beforehand, but I figured just to give you a little more insight into the magic, I figured I would live shuffle on camera. Before we get started, I want to remind everyone that this is a general reading, so it might not resonate with everyone, so just take the messages that are for you and disregard the rest. Also, if you enjoy this, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, so that you can see when I've posted new content, and it really helps the channel a lot. It gets seen by more people and it helps the algorithm that YouTube uses. And thank you so much to those of you who have already subscribed. I really appreciate it. So for our three piles today, pile 1 is the Divine Feminine Oracle. Pile 2 is the Goddess Power Oracle. And pile 3 is the Legendary Ladies Oracle. So just take a deep breath, let your intuition guide you to a pile, figure out what deck you want used in your reading. I'm going to put timestamps in the description and in the comments below, and we're going to get started now with pile number 1. Hi Group 1, so if you chose the Divine Feminine Oracle, then this is your reading. So we're live shuffling today, so that's tarot and oracle cards will both be shuffled on camera, and the charms are going to be live as always. So let's figure out how you can best embrace love this Valentine's Day. So I'm using the Fairy Tarot if you're interested. Okay. So you have Four of Winter, which is Four of Swords. Ace of Summer, which is Ace of Cups. And Release, number 13. So that's the Death card traditionally. So I'm getting the feeling that maybe you've had a bit of a break from love with that Four of Winter. That's very much, taking a break, taking a rest. Even the card says, set aside your concerns for now. You can make a decision later. Solutions that come from meditation. The need for more sleep or a vacation. So I'm getting this energy that you've been kind of in this like retreated mode where you've been maybe taking a break from love, maybe just recovering from a difficult situation, and you've just needed to kind of hibernate mentally and emotionally for a while. But with this Ace of Summer, that's the Ace of Cups. So I feel like you are ready for new love or a new phase in love, and I think opening up your heart is definitely what you can do to really embrace that kind of energy this Valentine's Day. So this one says, open your heart to love. The beginning of a new intimate relationship or the rebirth of a current one, the awakening of psychic abilities or spiritual epiphanies. So yeah, I think in general this is just a new phase, either like a new love coming in, or just being open to love after being kind of closed off from it for a while, and you're just ready for that new phase. And then obviously with the Release card, with the Death card, this is letting go. It even says let go of the past, an ending that makes way for new opportunities, time to move on. So you're moving forward. I think you're ready to be done with the past, and you're ready to release it for good. You're not kind of dwelling on either things that have happened in a current relationship, whether that's fights or disagreements or conflict of some sort. You're not holding on to exes. I think it's important to make sure that you're letting go of anything. You don't necessarily have to forgive people, but just not giving past situations, past people power over you, that you're allowing yourself to be open to love and not closed off. So now we are going to start getting your oracle cards, and this is the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. I wait for the cards to fly out on their own, so that's why if it takes a while, that is why. So you got the Brat, number 52. So I'm getting the feeling that maybe you've been feeling kind of misunderstood, because just the like body language in this card, this little like fairy is, or pixie, I don't really know what this is. If anybody technically knows, Leave it in the comments below, but I like this creature's a little bit different than the one that looks more human. But yeah, so I feel like maybe you've been labeled like high maintenance or a brat, or just, a lot of people haven't really understood the way that you need to be loved, or you just feel like you've gotten like the short end of things for a long time, even though other people maybe have not treated you the best, and yet you're the one getting thrown under the bus. You're the one who's not being treated fairly. Maybe you express love differently than other people around you, and so that's made you kind of guarded. And maybe what I'm getting is, for a lot of you, you've kind of taken on this role for yourself, where you've been like, you know what, if people are going to say that I'm high maintenance or hard to love, I'm going to take that on and really embrace that and embody it. So I just feel like in general, maybe that's something that you're leaving behind, is that mentality of being hard to love. Maybe you're going, you know what, I deserve this. I am open to it and I'm willing to accept it in a better form. So these are the Heal Yourself reading cards. So you got number 4, sexuality. So for many of you, you might want to like really get in touch with your body. I feel like that's what a lot of this is about, is really being okay with how you look, how you feel, just embracing whatever your body type is, not kind of hating it, or like being really hard on yourself or trying to achieve some sort of ideal. I feel like that's really, for a lot of people, that's what this can be about, and just really embracing what your physical body is capable of. So maybe that's part of why a lot of people have kind of come down on you, is maybe you've been uncomfortable or insecure, or you were confident and then people tore you down from that. So I feel like this is saying, get in touch with your body for your own purposes, for yourself. Don't do this for anybody else. Just really start kind of being friendly and loving to yourself and how you look and how you feel. I think that's really going to be important for you. Now these are the Whispers of Love oracle cards. Okay, so you got, I think, 2 there. These are much thicker. They're more like cardboard. Okay, you got 3 actually. That's what I was wondering. Okay, so you got New Love, number 26, and that says, embrace an opportunity for love in your work prospects or for spiritual growth. So yeah, I feel like you're definitely ready for something new. That's very much the energy I'm getting, is that you're open to new things. You're not really holding on to the past anymore. You're not being weighed down by negative situations from your past or by past conditioning or anything like that. You're just open to whatever, something beautiful and wonderful. Because notice this person or fairy is like ready to catch this shooting star. So I think that's where you're at, is you're like, you know what, I'm ready for the best. The best is yet to come. That's the phrase that's coming to my mind. So maybe that's something you've been saying a lot. Like attracts like. If you long for more love, be more loving. And that's number 2. So I feel like like with that Ace of Summer too, that's kind of what I was getting, is that you're really trying to embody the love that you want to bring into your life. You're not wanting to kind of be closed off or rigid about things anymore. You're ready to just be like, you know what kind of person do I want to attract to me? I'm going to embody that. I'm going to be like that person, and then know that that's what you'll be attracting in. So that might even be something that you're working on, is the law of attraction somehow. And then finally, you have You Are Limitless. You can do anything you choose. And that's number 4. So I feel like, just really, there's a lot of like self-love here. I feel like you're definitely open to new love, but I think that's definitely starting with self-love and just embracing the possibilities of what you could be. I think you are relabeling yourself. If you've been known as a specific type, or you've gone for a specific type, I think you're opening up to other options, other opportunities, and you're recognizing that you don't have to limit yourself based on what you were known as in the past, or what you expected in the past, or what you've told people you were looking for. I think it's going to change, and you're really open to that now. Now we are going to get one of your Divine Feminine oracle cards. You actually got 2. So you got the Goddess of Light. We are all sacred mirrors reflecting back the same light. So that's very much like this like attracts like, it's just whatever you embody is going to be mirrored back to you and the people around you. So I think maybe when you were being labeled the brat, it's, you know, or like somebody had labeled you that and then you were mirroring that back to them. You know, that's what they got because that's what they expected. So I feel like now you're like, you know what, I'm going to embody whatever I want and whatever I want to be, and that's what's going to come to me. And I think that's really true at this point. That's what's coming to you. And then you have the enlightened feminine. My gut instinct is wise beyond reason. I trust my intuition to guide me. So yeah, I think you're definitely getting in touch with your intuition. I think with that Ace of Summer, that's a very intuitive energy as well. So you might be getting in touch with your psychic abilities. I think you're starting to recognize people's intentions as well. Like you can tell right away if people have good intentions or if they're kind of being manipulative, if they're only in things for their own gain. I think you're able to detect that pretty well. So you might even be like clairsentient or claircognizant, I think is what if you like know something, I just feel like you know it in your gut. Like you have a very, very strong intuitive gut instinct there. So we are going to get you an Angel Answers card now. So you got no, exclamation point. So, because there is another card that just says no, but this one is no, exclamation point. So it's very emphatic. So I feel like you're definitely saying no to people and situations that aren't right for you anymore. I think you're becoming unafraid to do that. And maybe that's a little bit of what this Brat card is about as well, is that you're getting known to be difficult at this point because you're standing up for yourself. You're not like letting people walk all over you. You're setting boundaries. So I think to some people, you know, to the wrong people in your life, that's going to feel offensive. And I feel like there are people who are probably being like, you know, why are you doing that? You're just being difficult. You know, I feel like a lot of people just want things to be easy. And if you set boundaries, you can be known as difficult. But you know what? If people won't respect your boundaries, they're not worth keeping around anyway. So I think you're getting much better about setting boundaries. I think it's important to keep doing that as well. I think that's really going to be serving yourself well. So we're getting you a Sacred Self-Care Oracle card now. And I'm interested to see what this one is going to be, since there is a lot about kind of self-care and love here too. So yeah, you have number 2, alone time. So I feel like that's kind of the energy you're in right now too, because that's that 4 of winter, just taking time alone, taking a time out, resting. But this also can embody just going out alone, you know, doing things alone, having fun alone, and not necessarily just resting, but really taking time away from other people. Maybe this is just like representing a period of being single for a while so that you're not worrying about somebody else's wants and needs. You know, I feel like with this girl that she's got all the planets like revolving around her, I think you might be the type of person that when you really like somebody, everything starts to revolve around them. And that's maybe the kind of person you've gone for, the people who just have people gravitating towards them, but then your entire life has become about them. And this is saying regroup and reconnect with yourself. You know, even if you're in a relationship, you need time alone, you need time for self-care and just taking care of yourself, just really focusing on your own wants and needs. So just make sure that that's happening. And now we're going to get you a tea leaf oracle card, and these are, there's like 200 of these cards, so no guarantees on how gracefully I can shuffle them. And they're round, so that makes them difficult too. Okay, yeah, that's way too many, so we're not taking all those. We're going to regroup, redo that. All right, so tea leaf oracle for group 1. Okay, and that one wanted to come out as well. Yeah, those do not tend to come out one at a time, so. You got key, successful outcome to your problems. So yeah, I feel like especially with this time alone, I think that's going to help reconnect you with whatever you want. And that's going to help you really identify what kind of relationship you want to come into your life. And then you have sunrise, new creative ideas, new ventures, a fresh start. That's exactly what we've been talking about. This is a fresh start. It's new. It's this dawn of a new era for you. And that sun, like anytime that there's sun energy, that's just very, very positive energy. It's, you know, just a new day. You can get that fresh start. You don't have to be repeating the mistakes of your past or any kind of past conditioning that you feel like doesn't serve you anymore. You can get rid of that and start over. So there's a lot of these cards as well. These are the Island Time Wellness Love Oracle cards, and I actually, the shop that sells these actually has 3 different Love Oracle decks, and so I actually put the 3 decks together, so that's why there's so many. So you got Hammer. sabotage, rebuilding, interrogation, repetitive, persistent, working on it. So I definitely feel like rebuilding is what I'm getting here, like destroying what does not work for you anymore and rebuilding your life the way that you want to live it. And then you have the document, text or email, agreement, letter, separation, divorce, contract, news, legal papers, or proceedings. So some of you might be going through a divorce or going through some kind of legal issue right now, but I feel like for many of you this might be like reaching out to somebody or somebody reaching out to you, and maybe that's why you have to keep your boundaries up here. I feel like you might get like some exes coming back around because it is Mercury retrograde, so you might get people that you don't really want to hear from coming back around being like, hey, I miss you, you know, can I come over? Like just wanting to talk. And I feel like you're at the point where you're like, nope, I am over it. I'm done with that. And yeah, so I feel like, but otherwise for some of you, this might be like agreeing to disagree, you know, working things out, maybe actually like writing out a list of things that your partner can do for you that you can do for them, that kind of thing. But I feel like because so much of this is focused on yourself and not necessarily a partnership with anyone else, I think this is much more about making sure that your boundaries are set and that you're not betraying yourself for somebody else. And then we are going to get you a Jane Austen playing card because these have quotes on them. And I love Jane Austen, so I just wanted to include her for this one. So you got the 9 of Spades, which is the 9 of Swords. Run mad as often as you choose, but do not faint. So yeah, I feel like this is just kind of going with that resilient energy, you know, that you can just jump in head first as much as you want to, and you can get into the nitty gritty of things, like just get into difficult situations or really just try things over and over, but just make sure that you're not just giving up. You know, you can take a break, but don't give up if you're wanting something. You know, I feel like this is very much that energy of don't give up on yourself, keep going. And then finally, we're getting you a Secret Garden little card here. Okay. So you got Dare, Take a Risk, and Fly. So yeah, this is definitely, again, new energy, fresh energy, trying something that you've never done before and trusting that things are going to work out for you. Because I feel like you've got some really good things coming your way, but I feel like it's exciting that things are just very open for you. You're not restricted, you're not held down by things. This is just saying embrace the new. That's really what yours is about, is just embrace the new and listen to your intuition and listen to what you really want. Don't live your life for someone else. So we're going to get your charms now, and we are using the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 1, how can you embrace love this Valentine's Day? All right, so you got play in your heart. So I feel like just embracing the state of play, just having fun, very childlike energy, laughter. I just feel like just make sure that you're staying, not necessarily staying positive, because I think sometimes there can be that toxic positivity of like always being positive even when things are difficult. But I think this is just saying make time for joy and play, and don't take everything so seriously. Because you also have Tigger up here, who's very playful, very energetic. He's just very bouncy and excited, and I do feel like that's very much excitement about things to come. And you have the key here as well, and you did have, right, the key card, I believe. Yeah, you had a key on one of your tea leaf cards. So yeah, I feel like you're definitely finding a solution. I think you're going to get some clarity. You might figure out what you're looking for, or you're figuring out what you want to do. But I feel like if you're worried about something or you're trying to fix something, you're going to have the answer or the solution soon. And you do have number 13, which is the death card. So you got the release card. That's perfect. So that's just more emphasis on leaving behind what doesn't serve you. I think for a lot of you, this is that inevitable end, that something has just maybe been dragging on too long. And this is saying stop resisting, let it go, move forward. You have 2 spiders here. That's interesting. I think I only have 2 spiders in this deck, except maybe there's one, maybe I have 3 spiders, but you have 2 spiders. So those are very creative energy, but I always see them as creating your own life, not being held down by what anybody else wants you to do, really being in charge of creating your own life, because spider webs all end up unique. So yeah, it's just, again, honoring yourself, honoring your own process, your own way of doing things, and not staying in somebody else's like mindset, or in their own, like somebody else's tradition of how things go, or just doing things for someone else's benefit and not for your own. For your initials, you have F and you also have Q. So yeah, those might be significant initials for some of you, for names or places, or just a word might come to mind. So if you have anything that might apply to many people, please leave it in the comments below. You have the little spinny heart here that's saying, like basically it's saying I love you. It says you, and in the heart here, and it says yes, maybe, or no, but it's always pointing at the yes. So if you are wanting someone to come in, I feel like that is saying yes, somebody is coming in towards you. But otherwise, I think that's just saying only accept something if it's unequivocally a yes. You know, like don't start dating somebody if it's just an eh, or like, you know, I guess so. Make sure that you're enthusiastic about it, because I feel like you might be feeling like you're dishonoring yourself if you date someone just for the sake of it and not because you really want to. The plunger here is about getting yourself unstuck, so I feel like you're definitely at the point where you're ready to get unstuck again. You've got Virgo energy here, which is also practical. So you might be more focused right now on like work matters, or you might have to, like, in order to end whatever this situation is, you might be having to go through all the detailed, like, nitty-gritty stuff that might involve legal paperwork. If you're getting a divorce or a separation or something like that, you might be having to divide up like furniture or something, and maybe you have pets that you're trying to figure out who they're going to live with, that kind of thing. The moon and star has to do with believing in your dreams and starting to live them out, and just trusting that your dreams will come true. This also represents the Wheel of Fortune for me, the wheel here. So that's definitely just saying your luck will change, things are changing. I think some destined events might be coming your way as well, especially if you feel like some sort of energy is building up and you've been kind of anticipating something. That might be kind of a sign for you that yes, something is coming your way. You have the birdcage, so that just has to do with freeing yourself. So again, more release, more letting go of what doesn't serve you. The crown just has to do with personal sovereignty and trusting that, you know, you are living the life that you want to live for you, and you're not letting other people rule you. It has to do with confidence as well, so I think that's kind of tied in with that sexuality card as well. Just walking around with confidence and grace, and just making sure that you are embracing your own personal uniqueness. And then you have the marijuana leaf as well. So this just has to do with relaxing and just unwinding, just that very kind of zen energy. So again, just taking a break, making sure that you're taking that time out as well, not pushing yourself too hard to just move instantly into something new. I think this is saying because something is ending, you might need that kind of regrouping time before you're ready to embrace a new era. But just give yourself that time, and I think things are going to turn out really well for you. So group 1, I hope that this resonated. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. Also, if you enjoyed the live shuffling aspect of things, please leave me a comment about that below, and make sure to give me a like for that too, so that I know that you enjoyed that. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope your Valentine's Day is awesome as well, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi Pile 2. So if you chose the Goddess Power Oracle, then this is your reading. So we're live shuffling today. We're doing the tarot and oracle cards shuffled live on camera, and obviously the charms are being done live as always. So let's figure out how you can best embrace love this Valentine's Day. So we're using the Fairy Tarot today. That was fast. That was much faster than group 1. So for your tarot, you have the 8 of Winter, which says you have what it takes if only you believe in yourself, thinking that you're powerless when you're not, a lack of self-confidence that keeps you from getting what you want. You have King of Summer, honorable, devoted, mature, warm-hearted, and it says a romantic partner you can trust. excellent advice that comes from the heart, getting involved in a cultural or creative endeavor. And then you have the Queen of Spring, brilliant, loyal, talented, friendly. Believe in yourself. Wonderful people want to help you. Maintain a balance between work and home life. So I feel like you've been feeling very trapped and limited for a while. Maybe you feel like you don't have a lot of romantic prospects, or you're feeling trapped in a relationship that you're in right now. Maybe you're just feeling very bound and unable to experience love right now. But this card in particular is saying that it's self-inflicted, because this is equivalent to the Eight of Swords in the traditional kind of tarot layout. So, yeah, this is definitely just self-inflicted. It's feeling powerless, but not necessarily being powerless. You know, you have the power to change things if only you do so, if you try, if you move forward, if you release those limitations you're placing on yourself. And it's generally mental limitations. Then with the King of Summer, that is the King of Cups in tarot. So this could represent a romantic partner for you, but it also could just be an energy you're in. So just a very balanced, loving energy, but the King of Cups generally is very in touch with his emotions, but balances his emotional side with his logical side. But he doesn't always show his emotions. So you might be feeling very emotional, but not necessarily showing how you feel. And then with the Queen of Spring as well, that is the Queen of Wands in the traditional tarot. And she's very confident. She's somebody that embraces joy as well. So I feel like maybe if you are in a relationship, these could represent you and your person, you and your partner. But otherwise, it could just be some energies that you're in right now. So just feeling very loving, but not necessarily showing it. And this is saying, you know, put yourself out there, really embrace yourself, you know, be confident, and just, even if you act with confidence, even if you don't feel it, but just really kind of embrace your passionate side. But I think this is suggesting maybe open up a little bit. I feel like you are more worthy of love than you're maybe allowing yourself to feel. So just keep that in mind. So I'm going to do your oracle cards now. So let's figure out if we can expand on that message. So these are the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. So yeah, I usually don't take too many, but this is, I think, just 3, so we'll take those. So you got the Balancing Act, number 19. So that's very much what I was thinking with the King of Summer. It can be balancing between like heart and head, emotional and logical, and I feel like maybe this is you needing to balance those sides of yourself, or needing to balance your time alone with time with other people. It can also just have to do with balancing everything that you have going on. Maybe you just feel like you've got too much going on, so that's why you're restricting yourself from getting into a relationship or showing yourself love. So that's just saying, yeah, try to keep it in balance, but that could also represent just what you're going through currently. Moon Secrets, number 29. So this generally, I see it as having to do with your intuition because of the word secrets as well. The moon has to do with emotions and intuition, but this is just making me think very much of that King of Summer energy as well. So I feel like that King of Summer might be representative of your energy, but that's not necessarily going to apply to everybody. But I just feel like somebody is holding back how they're feeling. So I feel like this is just saying maybe you know intuitively what somebody else feels about you, or you're holding back your feelings towards someone else, or your feelings towards love. But overall, I just feel like there's definitely some emotional secrets kind of being withheld there. And then you have number 60, Air Element. So that's very much Swords energy. So you might be very in your head right now, but because of the way that she's pictured, where she's very light, and the butterflies are kind of flying around, I feel like this is you releasing things that don't serve you anymore. I feel like maybe you are in the process of releasing these kind of mental barriers that you've been putting up, and you're allowing yourself to embrace a new way of thinking. You know, maybe that's what it's suggesting to you as well, is get yourself in balance. You don't have to stay kind of secretive about how you feel or what you want from a relationship or from your life. You can embrace that and make that known to people, and just embrace your confidence. So we're going to get a Heal Yourself reading card. These cards are a little awkward to shuffle because they're big as well, but yeah, it does take a while to get any cards out sometimes with the live shuffle. So if you don't enjoy this, just maybe skip past the shuffling moments. So you have number 1, selling out. So this to me says that you have been ignoring your inner desires, that you've been kind of living your life for somebody else's purpose for a while, and I think you're just feeling beat up by that. Maybe you feel like you can't have what you want, or, like, I think that that's that self-imposed limitation that we talked about in the 8 of Winter, is that maybe you've just felt like this is all a relationship is, or this is the best I can do, and so, you've chosen to live inauthentically, and I think you're ready to embrace your authenticity again. So just get in touch with your emotions and maybe kind of reconnect with what drives you forward. What are you passionate about? What do you want your life and your love to look like? Okay, that was really fast, but these are the Whispers of Love cards. So appreciate this moment. Every situation is an opportunity to grow and find love. And that's number 33. So nice repeating number there. Yeah, so I feel like maybe you are kind of noticing little things in your life that are kind of lightening your load a little bit, because just with the 8 of Winter and then the air element feeling like something is getting released, I feel like maybe you're not putting so much pressure on love anymore, and you're feeling like, if you've been feeling like you can't find love or you have no love in your life, maybe you're at the point now where it's like, hey, it's actually all around me. That sounds super dorky because I was thinking of the movie Love Actually earlier. And they keep singing the, like, Love is All Around Me song. And yeah, so I just feel like maybe you are recognizing those tiny moments that seem to really showcase other people's love for you, other people's love for other people, but you're just seeing kind of little moments of love all around you, and I think you're allowing that to be something that you are using to drive yourself forward as well, that you're maybe just offering kindness to other people, and you're doing little loving acts just to kind of embrace that side of yourself. So I feel like maybe that's something that you've been secretly doing, or something that you've really been kind of wanting to do, because I feel like there's a lot of kind of disillusionment in these piles. Pile 1 was kind of similar in feeling like love could only be a certain way and then releasing that, but this is kind of a different spin on it. So yeah, I feel like you're definitely recognizing ways to just appreciate love and just kind of stay present as well, not worrying too much about the future or dwelling on the past, but just staying present. So now we are going to get your Goddess Power Oracle card. Okay, that's way too many. I'm not taking 4 of them, sorry, but it just gets to be too many cards if I take more than 3 of anything, and I don't even like to take 3 some of the time, so. Okay, so that's 2. That's fine, we'll take 2. So you have Wise Leadership, number 14, and you have Home, number 22. So you have another repeating number there. So you might be somebody seeing like a lot of 2s and 3s lately, but just keep those numbers in mind. But I feel like with this Wise Leadership, I think you are taking charge of your own life and your own love. So maybe you are having to lead the way. If you want to be in a relationship, you might have to make the first move. And that's very much like Queen of Spring energy, just very confident and bold and moving forward. So I feel like you're embracing that confident side of yourself, or that might be something you need to do more of. And then with Home, I feel like maybe you're trying to find that sense of home, because I think a lot of the time when love doesn't feel right to us or things are looking bleak, we just feel very out of place. And a lot of the time we can just want that sense of home that you have in childhood, especially if you had a really good childhood, and you just want that feeling of like warmth and comfort. So I think you might even be looking for someone who feels like home, or you're trying to find a way to feel at home in yourself and in your own skin as well. So that might be something that it's suggesting as well, is find a way to feel at home in yourself. Okay, that was fast as well. Some of these are just flying out of the decks. So this is the Angel Answers deck, and it says forgiveness. So you might want to forgive somebody else, or you might be needing to forgive yourself for something, maybe for mistakes you made in your past, or for not knowing something in your past, but just overall, I think there's somebody you need to forgive, or someone is needing to forgive you for something, but just overall, I feel like this is very healing energy. So that might be a way for you to kind of lift some of those self-imposed restrictions, is forgiveness, forgiving yourself, forgiving others, allowing others to forgive you, and just embracing the new and moving forward into a better time period. And now we're getting you a sacred self-care oracle. So you got 3 of these as well. You got number 31, look to the stars. So this might have to do with actually going out and stargazing if you can, where you are right now, if it's clear and possibly like the weather is good enough for you to do that. But this also has to do with astrology, because we've obviously got the signs here, we've got the moon phases. So you might be somebody who feels very linked in with the moon, feels very like attached to your like your astrology chart. So if you've never gotten your astrological chart done, you might want to do that. There are a bunch of like good websites that can even do a pretty full one. Some of them are kind of simplified, but just to get to know some of your traits better, that might be something that interests you. But otherwise, some of you might be feeling a little more affected by like Mercury retrograde or the moon phases, because we've got the new moon coming up. So yeah, so that might be something that's affecting you. You have number 28, intuition. So this to me just says, it's pretty obvious, but just connect with your intuition, allow yourself to open up, like not blocking out your intuition because you feel like your head knows better. I think this is very much, again, balancing your head and heart. And I feel like a lot of the time, if you just kind of quiet the mental chatter, you can really tell what you want, what's right for you. I think you might be somebody who second guesses yourself a lot. So just allow that first impulse to guide you. And then you have make an altar, number 16. So that might be something that you want to do. I think it's interesting too, because actually this forgiveness card makes me think of an altar, because this is like imagery you see a lot of the time on people's altars. So I feel like maybe you want to make an altar to achieve something in particular. So that's something you can maybe research, is how to just set up kind of a little meditation space that makes you feel like connected to yourself. It's a more zen area that you can maybe get more in touch with your intuition, because I think a lot of the time when things are busy or stressful, or you're just not feeling like yourself, it's hard to really connect with your intuition. So I think this is just providing you an outlet to connect with your intuition and allow yourself to really listen to that inner guidance that you have, because I think if you trust that, it's not going to lead you astray. And now we're going to get you a tea leaf oracle card, and there's a lot of these cards, so they're kind of hard to shuffle. They're round, but those came out pretty easily. So we've got boat, money or property through an inheritance, winning, or windfall. So there might be like money impacting the situation around here. Maybe that's something that you're kind of imposing restrictions on yourself because of money. But this is saying money is coming in to you, so just kind of trust in that. But this can also, like, I kind of expand these to be a little more symbolic, because not everybody gets a windfall of money every time that their cards say that they're getting that. So for me, this can also just be a windfall of like new people, new insights. It might be like someone amazing coming in, or just feeling loved. This might just be kind of love pouring into you, or like some new insights. Like I'm getting, because it's inheritance, maybe you'll find out something about a family member, like about how they felt about you. And like, I feel like for many of the, Mercury retrograde, I'm blaming that for all of my inability to speak lately. But so with the forgiveness card, I'm wondering if many of you need to forgive a family member who was maybe harsh on you, or you had some words, you had a falling out. But I feel like with an inheritance, you might be receiving something from them physically, or this might just be like insights on how they felt about you, what they thought about you, or like words that they said about you, something like that. But I feel like some of you are going to get something that's going to make it easier for you to forgive them. And then you got bread, period of prosperity and abundance. So that's kind of going with this boat card as well. It's just, I feel like you've got some really positive, like future experiences coming your way. I think you're definitely going to have abundance coming to you, but I think in order to really embrace it and enjoy it, you have to lift those self-imposed restrictions and embrace your confidence and your loving side, and just, again, like, appreciate the moment, you know, just embrace that and make sure that you're not holding yourself back out of feeling like you don't deserve it, or like, you know, I think a lot of the time things feel too good to be true and you're like, what's the catch? And, you know, that makes it hard to enjoy things. So just make sure you're not doing that. And then we're getting you an Island Time Wellness Love Oracle card. And these are actually 3 decks put together, which is why there are so many. So you've got Wicked, mischievous, naughty, harmful, dangerous, false portrayal, lie, cheat, beware. So there might have been like a negative source in your past. Like I'm getting, you know, there's a lot of like things needing to be forgiven and some things from your past holding you back, and just the selling out card is making me think of that. So I do feel like some of you have dealt with a really difficult person in the past, or this could also have to do with lying to yourself, like with that selling out. Maybe you just have felt very inauthentic and dishonest towards yourself for a long time. So that's just kind of, you know, maybe you were falsely portraying yourself to other people, and that's made it harder to meet people or to really feel the love for yourself because you weren't being yourself. I hope that makes sense. You have It's a Plan, getting asked out, text message or call with intent to date, tentative plans, making, solidifying a plan. So some of you might be getting a date coming in. Even if you're in a relationship, maybe you're making more time for each other. If you're single, you might be getting a date. You might even just have like a phone date to talk to somebody you love, because this obviously does not have to do with romantic love in every case. So it might just have to do with like making time and like setting aside a time to really connect with loved ones. And then you have separation, sadness, missing you, thinking about you, yearning, unsure of future. So yeah, if you're in a place with lockdown right now, you might have gone a long time without talking to loved ones. So that's kind of what I'm getting with this It's a Plan and separation, is for many of you, you actually can't see that, so I'm going to put that down here. Many of you might actually be wanting to set up some sort of video call or setting up a time where you can see each other in person or talk, but I just feel like this is saying make time to connect with people around you, even if it's not the kind of love you're looking for, the kind of love that you're really wanting. Like if you're feeling just like you really want a romantic relationship, pay attention to all that love that's around you. You know, you've got family, friends, pets, love for yourself. I think this is going to be different for everybody, but this is just saying, like, I'm getting an energy of like widening your perspective, you know, look at everything that's around you, because with look to the stars as well, I feel like it's saying don't think too small, you know, broaden your perspective and really look around and notice these massive, like, I feel like there are massive acts of love in the tiny acts of love. I hope that makes sense to people, but I feel like that's what you remember the most, are all these little things that people do for you. We're going to get you a Jane Austen playing card now, because these have quotes on the back, and Jane Austen is always kind of my romance guru, and just guru on love and any kind of relationships, family, friends. I just love her wit. So you have the 10 of Spades, which is the 10 of Swords, and it says, my sore throats, you know, are always worse than anybody's. And that's from Emma. So I feel like that's giving me the energy of gossip, because Emma is definitely a bit of a gossip. She talks a lot. So I feel like this is maybe saying just be conscious of how you talk about yourself, how you talk about other people. I feel like for the most part, this is how you talk about yourself. Just be conscious of that and make sure that you're treating yourself kindly as well, because I feel like that negative self-talk can kind of bring you down further and further. So it's just, I think it's also, there's a saying of checking before you say something, if it's kind, if it's true, if it's necessary. I don't remember what all of them are, so if you remember that, you can leave it in the comments if you want. But just in general, making sure that what you say is necessary before you speak it, you know, not just blurting something out thoughtlessly. Make sure that you're conscious of what effect your words have on other people and what effect they have on yourself as well. And now finally, we're getting you a Secret Garden card. This one's running a bit longer than group 1, so I'm sorry that this one is so long, because we haven't even gotten to your charms yet. Oh my goodness, this group is wanting so many cards. Okay, so you got Bloom and Attract More Than Butterflies. So yeah, I feel like you're really coming into your own. You might be feeling like you're not like who you want to be yet. So just trust in yourself and just allow yourself to kind of experiment and explore who you are. Oh, here we go. Be present. Use the hours, don't count them. That's very much what I was saying with the appreciate this moment card. Just staying present, making sure that you're not like counting down the hours till you meet the person for you or whatever. I feel like some of you might be trying to count down until you actually get to meet up with someone you love, but I think this is just saying don't try to rush the process. Stay focused on the present moment. Share. The busy bee should still make time for each flower. So, yeah, again, just make sure that you're sharing the love with other people. Just because you're wanting to shut off from romance doesn't mean that you can't share love with family or friends. And, if you're trying to cut somebody off, make sure you're giving love to other people and giving love to yourself. So, yeah, just don't cut people off. I feel like some of you sometimes get tempted to do so. You might feel like they're better off without you or something like that. And, just make sure you're reaching out and connecting with people. And then finally, you have adapt. You will get yourself where you want to be. So yeah, trust in yourself. I think trust in your ability to adapt as well. Like I'm looking, my eye will not be taken off this balancing act card. So I think just trust that you'll be able to change your ways and you can adjust things to be more authentic. Because I feel like many of you maybe don't know who your authentic self is. So this is just saying you'll get there. Just be patient with yourself, connect with the ones who love you, but you'll get there and just trust in yourself to adapt as needed. So we're going to get your charms now, and we are using the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the matter. So group 2, how can you embrace love this Valentine's Day? So in the heart, we have way to go. So I feel like, yeah, you might not know which way to go. I feel like you're like at a crossroads, but with many paths, not just two, and you have no idea where to go because there are so many options. So this is just saying you'll figure it out. Just trust and try some, And I think you're really wanting to rush the process because you've got this coffee to go. So I feel like you're getting busy. You might be on the go a lot. You might be trying to really hurry things along because you feel like maybe you're feeling like you're later than other people your age. Like you're wanting to rush to get a romantic partner, or you feel like you're not like emotionally mature enough or something, but I just feel like you're trying to rush the process. So just make sure that you're staying present because I think that that's going to help you not rush too fast. Like even if you're busy, you can stay present. You have the initial J here, whoops. So that might be a significant like name or word or place for some of you. Trying to flip some of these here. So we've got the shell and starfish. So that just makes me think at low tide, you can really see all the like shells and starfish on the beach. So that makes me think like when things get kind of calmed down or when you feel very down, you can really kind of sift through your emotions and your psyche to really see what's there. It kind of forces you to look at things and not ignore them. You have the heart wreath with the flowers here, so that just makes me think of allowing love to grow and bloom and just recognizing that it does take time to do so. With the tooth here, that makes me think of just growing out of things. We grow out of our baby teeth and they have to, our adult teeth force the baby teeth out, so just allowing things to leave your life when they don't serve you anymore, even if it's a bit painful. You've got sunshine here, so that's really positive energy kind of coming in. You have this kind of wonky flower that always makes me think of the phrase perfectly imperfect. So embracing your unique self again. I think just allowing yourself to stand out, because you also have the black flamingo, which also has to do with standing out because it's, flamingos are generally pink, so that particular one stands out a bit more. You have the racing flags. So that makes me think, again, just know it's not a race. I feel like you are trying to like hurry things along. So it's just saying be present, slow down, trust that things will work out. You have this flower that looks like it's kind of opening up in layers. So yeah, I think just peeling those layers of conditioning away, just trust that that's going to happen in the right amount of time. Don't force it, don't try to hurry it along, and just allow yourself to open up in layers, even if you're not quite comfortable opening up all the way yet. You have the bowler hat, so that always just has to do with hard work and just making things work no matter what. That always makes me think of just like getting things done. That's just very like, it, not quite like a hard hat, but that's just, bowler hats always just make me think of like going to work. You know, I always just picture in like period pieces all the men like going to work in their bowler hats, like getting things done. So I feel like just trust that things are working out for you, and just make time for yourself to like take a break, you know, slow down sometimes. You have the little bell here, so I think something is trying to get your attention, so you might be getting some spiritual insights. I think your intuition is trying to grab hold of you a bit, but I think you need to really slow down in order to listen to that. You have the horse that's racing here, so again, there's just this very fast energy. I think that's part of why I'm tripping over my words too, is I'm feeling this very fast energy, and it's making me just want to like get all of it out soon. But because your video is taking so much longer than group 1, I think that's just another reminder, slow it down, allow it to take the time it needs to take, you know. Just make sure that you're not rushing things just because you want to keep up with everyone else. Everyone's at their own pace. There's no right or wrong. You've got the music notes here, so you might want to connect with music somehow or some kind of creative endeavor, but I feel like many of you, I keep looking at the bell too, so many of you might be getting some insights in music, so maybe listen closely to lyrics that you're hearing over and over, or like if you get a song stuck in your head, pay attention, figure out if that's got a message for you. You've got the little clamshell here, so again, more energy of like opening up, so I feel like you are in this kind of period of time where you're willing to open up a little more, but it's freaking you out a bit. So just make sure that you're giving yourself time and patience. You know, you can always take a break, but just trust that the right people will love you just how you are. And then you have this castle that always makes me think of fortress. So yeah, I think you've been feeling very guarded. You've been holding yourself back just out of that fear of maybe not being good enough or not knowing who you are or feeling like you aren't going to get what you want. So it's just saying, just allow things to grow at their own pace. That's a big thing that I'm getting. And just notice all the love around you. And I think that's going to allow you to open up and blossom at the pace that's right for you. So group 2, I hope that this resonates. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this, please like the video and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already. And also, if you enjoyed the live shuffling on camera, please leave me a comment about that below as well, and make sure you hit that like button because that lets me know that you enjoyed what I did. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope your Valentine's Day is great, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching. Hi Group 3, so if you chose the Legendary Ladies, then this is your reading. So we're live shuffling the Tarot and Oracle on camera today, and we are obviously doing the charms live as well as always. So let's figure out how you can best embrace love this Valentine's Day. So I'm using the Fairy Tarot today. All right. So for your tarot, you have the Chariot, which says success that comes from dedication and self-discipline, celebrating your accomplishments, being in the spotlight. Two of Autumn, which is like Two of Pentacles in the traditional tarot. Bring fun into everything you do, juggling multiple priorities or jobs, an exceptional talent for multitasking. And Seven of Summer, which is like the Seven of Cups. No more procrastinating. Your power comes from making a decision. Confusion that arises from overanalyzing the options. So this is super interesting because these are all energies of having options and not being sure which way to go, because the Chariot is very determined and you can get where you want to go, but you do have to unite. Usually it's horses, but in this case I think it's like dragonflies or something. I can't tell what kind of bugs these are, but yeah, so basically if these two are moving in the same direction, then you can achieve what you want to achieve and go where you want to go. But if they're separated, if they're split, you can't really go anywhere. So you have to unite like head and heart before you can really get where you want to go. And the Two of Autumn can often be juggling two options. It can be juggling like many things that you have to get done, like your routine and stuff. And then Seven of Summer is having so many options, and often confusion arises from just having a bunch of good options and not really being sure what to choose, or not being sure what's going to result with each choice you make. So I feel like What I'm getting is that you're going to have to make a decision or embrace the fact that you have endless possibilities and not limiting yourself because you're afraid of making the wrong choice. I feel like you can just trust that the right thing is going to find its way to you, and that maybe because you have so many choices, they're all going to result in something wonderful for you. So don't overthink it to the point of not doing anything at all, because a lot of the time with having all these options and choices, we can have analysis paralysis where we just don't do anything because all the choices are just too overwhelming to really analyze, and it just makes it so we don't do anything at all. But I want to get some oracle cards. So we're starting with the Fairy Wisdom Oracle. Everybody's getting more than one oracle card for like all of these decks lately. So you have number 58, Reflections. So I'm feeling like this has to do with reflecting on what you want. I feel like this is definitely kind of an energy of contemplation, trying to figure out what's right for you and just taking that time to explore the options and just trusting that you will make the right decision. And then you also have number 40, Dandelions. Now, this is like very grounded energy, so I feel like this makes me think of just like doing the work, because it looks like she's kind of digging up the dandelions like they're weeds. So I feel like this is just saying once you make a decision, you just got to kind of buckle down and do it. So I feel like some of you might be putting off making a decision because it's too overwhelming for you. So just use the time that you have to reflect, but just make sure that you're not waiting too long to really get in there and make the decision. Because I feel like some of you might be very much like me, where overanalyzing things just paralyzes you into inaction. So these are the Heal Yourself reading cards, and you actually got the same card that I think group 1 got. So that is number 4, Sexuality. So this card to me can have to do with sexuality, but overall I think it just has to do with embracing your body and really kind of gaining confidence and love for your body. So I think maybe some of you suffer from like a lack of confidence in many ways. I'm definitely getting that from the fact that you're paralyzing yourself into not making a decision maybe, or you're feeling like you have so many options. Some of you might have had kind of a glow up where you either got really fit or you changed your hair or your skincare routine or something like that, where now maybe you are a lot more confident and you've got so many options you don't even know what to do with it. So that's definitely an energy that could be occurring right now, is just that you've got so many options that you have no idea even where to go. So just make sure that your first allegiance is to yourself. Make sure that you're not just like taking someone on because they're there. You know, make sure that you kind of do that reflecting to figure out what you want. But you can also take this time to explore as well. You know, don't make everything so that you have to make the right choice right away. You know, you can explore a bit and just make sure that you kind of know what you're getting into before you really like settle down and solidify things, but just trust in your ability to do that. Now these are the Whispers of Love Oracle deck. So these are a little harder to shuffle. They're a lot more like cardboardy. They're thicker than some decks, so they sometimes take longer to come out. That's the thing about live shuffling. It just sometimes takes a while for the cards to come out. So you have Love Makes the Difference, number 31. So it says, love helps heal past hurts and provides a sense of security and self-worth. So I do feel like many of you might have had like a lack of self-worth in the past, and now you're starting to gain in confidence, or maybe you're even looking to a romantic relationship to help you gain confidence. But I think many of you also are just looking to self-love. I think this is also saying like look to friends and family and just love of yourself to really solidify your sense of self-worth as well. Because I think some of you might just kind of waver sometimes if you're only trusting in romantic relationships, because not everybody has good intentions. So make sure that you're turning to those people who are there for you constantly, you know, friends, family, and obviously yourself. So we're going to get your Legendary Ladies card now. So, okay, that's kind of a lot. I'm not sure, that's like 5 cards, so let's kind of start over and see if we can get just like 1 or 2 coming out. These are a little awkward to shuffle too because they're so like long, and I have small hands, so I have trouble shuffling a lot of decks. Okay, these two or three are wanting to come out, so alrighty. So you have Harvest, and you have Magic. So this Harvest one is kind of making me look back at this Dandelions card as well, that I feel like all your work is paying off now. So maybe it is you've been kind of investing in yourself for a while, and now you're ready to reap the rewards of that. So whether that's more options for like career or friends or romantic relationships, you know, and you're ready to harvest that. And Magic just makes me think trusting in your own magic and kind of seeing things come to life before your very eyes. So if you've been waiting for the results of something or you're not sure what's right for you, I feel like just choosing something and then seeing something kind of unfold in front of you. I feel like you're seeing all the good in things again, or maybe you need to look for the good in life right now. So, but I feel like overall I think you're embracing a little bit more of a magical aspect, because that Seven of Summer can mean that you might be focusing too much on fantasy and not enough on reality. So again, like ground yourself, make sure that you're kind of putting in the work and like coming back to earth as well, because it's easy to get caught up in the fantasy and get caught up in your head and then not do anything about it. So these are the Angel Answers cards now. Yeah. So you got Take Action. So again, and the Chariot too is very much take action. So I feel like this is all just like, I think you have been like holding back for the most part, that you've been, and not intentionally holding back, because all these piles have had some energy of holding back in some way. But in yours, I think it's really just you have so many options, or you're not sure what's right for you. You don't know what to pick. So you've been just not doing anything. And I think this is saying just pick something and go. You know, you don't have to, like, it's not necessarily like a life sentence. You don't have to be there forever. Just choose something and see where it leads you. You know, go down a path, because you can't go anywhere if you're trying to pick the perfect path and you can't always see down that entire path. You know, sometimes you just have to take a leap of faith, only go as far as you can see, you know, just move based on what the eye can see already, and then adjust as needed as time goes on. So we're going to get you a Sacred Self-Care Oracle card now. Sorry if the camera's shaking. So you have number 41, Positive Affirmations. So I think that's maybe something that you've been working on, is some positive affirmations, like improving your relationship to yourself and to your body. But I think this is maybe a new way for you to do that as well, is just saying things out loud. Especially is just saying, I am beautiful, I am wonderful, I am brave, I am worthy of love, and just really embracing that, because I think the power of words are going to surprise you, because the power of words, I do think, have magic. And then you have number 45, Sing. So you might need to kind of open up your throat chakra a bit, but many of you might be into music and just want to, like, singing might be something that makes you feel really good about yourself. But otherwise, even if you're not like a musician or anything, just sing along with your favorite song and just kind of embrace that joy and power, and just kind of raise your vibration that way. Like, even if you just sing in the shower, that's good enough for most of us. So yeah, I think that's just going to help you raise your vibration and feel good, and just do things that make you feel good. I think that that's really a lot of this energy, is just do things that make you feel good and trust in yourself to make the right decisions. Now, these are the Tea Leaf Oracle cards, and usually they take a while for cards to come out, but I usually don't just get one for these, because they're round and there's like 200 of them, so a bunch of them like to fly out at once. So you have Wedge. Someone is trying to come between you and a friend or something you want. So you might have had situations, especially in the past, where people would get in the way, get in between you and your goals, or get in between you and like a romantic partner or something like that. Or you might just feel this wedge, like maybe you're feeling, or you're worried that somebody is going to get in between you and your dreams. But I think most of the time this is you doing that. You know, like I think just the analysis paralysis can get in the way. But this also might be if you've got a lot of options and you're feeling like someone maybe doesn't have the best intentions, or there's extra drama and baggage that goes along with that, just know that you have other options as well. You don't have to settle for something that's not right. And then you have woman, dealings or relationship with a woman. So this could have to do with this wedge card, that there's a woman getting in the way. Maybe there's like an ex situation or something, or this could be like a friend, or, but for many of you, there's going to be a woman who's kind of getting in between you and a goal, you and a person. There might be somebody who's torn you down. It could be like a mother figure for some of you. But just overall, there might be somebody out there that has kind of gotten in the way, in between you and your dreams, that's kind of like chipped away at your confidence for a while. Now I'm going to get one of the Island Time Wellness cards, and these are technically 3 Island Time Wellness Love Oracle decks put together, because they have 3 different versions. That's why there's so many of them, but I usually more than one comes out, but this time it was just one. So you got abandonment. Fear and abandonment issues are affecting relationships. Ghosting. Forgive, especially yourself. So in all 3 of these piles, there's kind of been that energy of like forgiving yourself for past mistakes or for not knowing things. But otherwise you might have been ghosted in the past. You might have some abandonment issues. I feel like that could be what this like wedge and woman is dealing with, is maybe you had a mother figure or like other relative or friend who abandoned you, or at least made you feel abandoned. Maybe somebody would ignore you or ostracize you in some way. This could have been a past partner who abandoned you or ghosted, or somebody who made you feel like you were hard to love. But just overall, I feel like there's kind of an empty energy here, just that maybe you have felt abandoned in the past, and that's why you've been doing the work to really improve your relationship with yourself. But I think worrying about that future abandonment is making you pause before you enter like a new relationship or a new situation. So just trust that things will work out. I think now, like, trust yourself to notice the red flags ahead of time. Pay attention to your intuition, and just know that you will make the right decision. And I think you can enter into a situation, and if it's not right, you can back out. You don't have to be kind of rigidly attached to something anymore. I think just pay attention to like what you're thinking, what you're feeling, and just trust that your future self will handle it if obstacles come up, if that makes sense. And with love makes the difference, my eyes will not come off of this card. So I feel like it's just saying, make sure that you're not holding back from love because you're worried about something. Like if you find like a wonderful new relationship or better friends or something like that, trust that you can open up and allow that to help you heal from the past betrayals. Now we're going to get you a Jane Austen playing card, because these have quotes on them, and that one went flying. So you got the Jack of Hearts, which is like, I think, between the Page and Knight of Cups. So it says, let other pens dwell on guilt and misery. And that's from Mansfield Park. So this makes me think, just saying, let other people worry about the negative stuff. You focus on the beauty, the love, the harvest, focus on the good things, because there's so much positivity here. I think that's why it's saying positive affirmations. Don't go, hey, I am not worthless. Say, I am worthwhile. I am worthy. Just focus on the positivity and not the negativity. And now finally, we are going to get you a Secret Garden card that already flew out. So yeah, you have patience, wait for the fruit to ripen. So I think a lot of you might want to plan ahead so much that you want to guarantee a result before you've even started to walk the path. So just, start walking the path, but then allow things to unfold at their own pace. With this harvest card, that things take time to come to fruition. So allow that to happen, give it the time that it needs. Don't try to rush the process just because of worry or fear that things won't work out. You can still get out of it if it's not right, but trust yourself to know when things are right for you. So we're getting you some charms now, and we're using the heart to figure out what's in the heart of the situation. So group 3, how can you best embrace love this Valentine's Day? Okay, and you had Cupid, I think, fly out of the tray. So yeah, so Cupid obviously is love, so many of you might have some romantic love coming your way, so that's good news. If that's something you're looking for, I think you're going to have many options. You have Taurus, so some of you might be dealing with a Taurus, and then you have the Scissors. So I'm wondering if some of you are cutting a Taurus out of your life, or cutting somebody out that was maybe very like grounded, like very like sensual or something, very stubborn as well. So just someone who loved the finer things in life, that's kind of like the vibe I'm getting from that. So that might be for some of you. Otherwise, it could be kind of a separate message that you're just cutting out someone from the past. You're cutting out the old conditioning that doesn't work for you. So all three piles are getting that, cut out what doesn't work for you and move forward, I think you're entering a time of more peace. You don't have to worry about the conflicts of the past anymore. You're getting the little parrot here, so definitely speak your truth. Don't be afraid to speak out and speak more kindly to yourself. Don't just repeat things that are negative that people have said to you in the past. Make sure that you're being conscious of what you do. This little stylish cat always makes me think of like putting your best self forward. So I think you are feeling more confident in yourself and in your body. So make sure that you're investing in that. You have the cloud. So that makes me think of confusion and uncertainty. So that's very much that 7 of summer, 7 of cups energy, just being confused because of so many options. You have the French press. So that has to do with like doing things differently. And, the result might not be different, but it might taste a little better, like it might be a little bit more unique. It might be kind of unexpectedly interesting, and it might take longer, but the result might be worthwhile. So just keep that in mind. You have the magic wand. So I feel like that's kind of going with that magic card. So there's just pay attention to that magic around you, but also know that there's no magic wand to just pick the perfect choice instantly. You are the magical being in this, the magic is coming from you. It's not coming from the outside situation. So just trust that the right thing's coming to you. You have live your dream. So yeah, like you can do anything. You can have whatever you want. You can dream up your fantasy person and get that, but just you have to make a choice to move forward and to make a choice. You can't just dream them up and they're going to fall in your lap. You have to go for it too. The sunflower is a really good omen because that's very similar to the sun. So just positivity and joy and a lot of like success is coming your way. You have the pig of abundance as well. So I think just a lot more like harvest abundance energy is coming your way. Obviously we had Cupid already. So romantic prospects coming your way, a lot of love. You're going to have so many choices, but I think people are going to be absolutely enamored with you. And you have this little heart here. So just trust that love can grow too. You don't have to have like an instant overwhelming connection with someone to maybe give them a little bit more of a chance. See if that love grows as well. If you're worried that you're making the wrong choice just because it doesn't feel perfect yet, maybe give them more of a chance. And I think you'll know if this can grow into something more. You have the bird cage, so that has to do with freeing yourself from past conditioning. And then you have Lassie, so that's asking for help, allowing yourself to ask other people for help and to help others as well, making sure that you're not just trying to do everything on your own, reach out to others, connect with people, make sure that you're doing that and not isolating yourself. So group 3, I hope that this resonated. I would love to hear if it does, so please leave me a comment below. If you enjoyed this video, please like it and subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and especially if you enjoyed the live shuffling on camera, please leave me a comment about that and make sure that you hit that like button so that I know that that's something I should continue to do or do again. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and I hope that your Valentine's Day is great, and I hope to see you next time. Thanks for watching.